This is how you handle interruptions in work meetings without losing control or sounding defensive. I'm Shahmeran. I facilitated dozens of strategy sessions and advisory boards, and I see the same pattern everywhere. People interrupt, the person either leading is going to shut them down or they're going to get shut down. Now, having a clever comeback is nice, but here's the real question. How do you protect your space without shutting people down? I use something that I call the steering wheel method. And no, it's not about cutting people off or driving like a madman. Okay, so here's what most people miss. The person interrupting you usually isn't trying to disrespect you. They're just impatient and they're testing your boundaries, or maybe they're just thinking out loud. So if you respond the same way every time, one of two things is gonna happen. Enough for it. You're either gonna look defensive or you're gonna get walked all over. And both of those don't look good for us. And that's the trap. You see, you either let them keep interrupting you and you're gonna lose control of the meeting that you had, or you shut them down so hard and you're gonna damage that relationship, maybe even outside of the scope of the meeting. I've learned that the hard way. And if you misread someone's why, someone's interrupting you, you don't lose that moment, you're gonna lose that respect. So that's why the steering wheel method works. Because it's not about fighting interruptions, it's about steering them. All right, think of it like this. People reach for the steering wheel in different ways. You don't react the same every time. You just adjust your grip. And you've got 3 moves that I'm going to talk about. All right, the first one is called the redirect. Now this is for those impatient interrupters. The I can't wait for my turn sort of people. For them, you keep the wheel by briefly acknowledging them and then finishing your point. So think of something like, ooh, we'll get to that. Just give me 30 seconds to finish this thought. It's simple. They're gonna feel heard, and instead of being ignored, and you get to keep control of the conversation and where you're driving it. The second one is called the boundary. Now, this is for those authority testers, the people who are checking whether you're gonna protect your space or not. For these folks, don't say, ooh, sorry, can I just finish my thought? That sounds like you're asking for permission, and you're not, okay? You're leading the meeting. Instead, I want you to try something like this. I wasn't finished. Maybe not as bespoke, but you know what I'm getting. But the key message here is that there's no apology, there's no long-winded explanation as to why. You show that you respect your own voice as much as theirs. And you're setting a precedent, which is key, because instead of inviting more tests, you've set what's gonna happen. Okay, so the third one is called the bridge. Now this is for those loud thinkers out there. People who like to process out loud and they jump in like mid-sentence. For these folks, you keep the steering wheel, but you show value to their input. These are usually your biggest fans. So you can say something like, ooh, hold that thought. It might connect to where I'm going. Or you can say something like, I really want to hear that idea. Let me just finish this idea first. This way, you're actually acknowledging them without giving them the floor. So here's the full recap. When someone reaches for your steering wheel during a meeting, use the redirect for those impatient people, use the boundary for those authority testers, and use the bridge for those loud thinkers. Everybody wins. The interrupter is gonna feel heard all 3 times. And the room stays focused, which is what we want. And you stay in control without shutting anyone down. So the next time you get interrupted, don't just react. Read that intention first. Because the goal isn't to win the moment with a cool comeback or something. It's to teach people how to treat your voice with respect. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.